Hello and welcome back to Creatively Montessori. Today we have a practical life lesson, pouring. We're using a dry medium. These are like plastic. These are actually in the floral section at the dollar store. Sometimes you can find them in the Target at the dollar spot. And they're actually table scatters or vase fillers. They are acrylic cups. They have snowflakes on them, and I love that it has this like frozen crackled look to it. These I particularly enjoy because I like putting out snowflake work and winter work in January after all of the hubbub of December. I love doing kind of calming winter things. So this is a practical life material that I would use in my early childhood 3 to 6 year old classroom. If you could get these large enough that they weren't a choking hazard, or if you wanted to use large pom-poms, white pom-poms that look like snow, you could use this in a toddler classroom. These are a good size for toddlers, and even if toddlers bang them together, they're not going to break. So I do like them for toddlers as well. This is pouring work. Pick it up, take it to the table, sit down. I sit down in the chair, scoot myself in. The child is standing to my left so that as I'm right-handed and I'm pouring, they can see what I'm doing. This is pouring work. When I present things, I always, in practical life, do them 3 times. I just feel like that's enough time for the child to see what you're doing, and it's not so long that they lose their focus. I, again, would then pick this up. Well, I would stand up, push in my chair, pick this up, take it to the shelf, put it back on the shelf, and say, this is pouring work. And I would either invite the child to do it, asking them, would you like to do it? There's a possibility they might say no. Or if I had this pouring work and maybe 2 or 3 other pouring works, I would say, I've shown you pouring work, and now these are the 2 or 3 that you may now choose from, and they would choose one of those. This is a practical life work that works on a child's sense of order. They have to make a choice about which of the materials they want, take it to their table. They're going from left to right, which is a pre-reading and pre-writing skill. They have a sense of order of there is a sequence to the lesson. This helps them work on their sense of concentration because they can pour this work as many times as they would like. You might have a child that would sit here and do this material for 30 minutes. And if they do so, other than we have to clean up to go outside for recess, we have to, go to the doctor's office, whatever it is, you, to the best of your ability, would not interrupt the child doing that. Unless the child is doing something that interferes with another child working, or is doing something dangerous to the material or to themselves. So for example, if these were glass and they were hitting them together so hard that you're like, oh, that could break and could potentially cut the child, you, to the best of your ability, do not interfere with their sense of concentration. A child might pour these out on the tray. That is okay. Instead of turning the tray, the medium went from here to here, the child might pour back. That is okay. None of those things are wrong. They're all just things that you will want to observe, to watch, to see what they're doing, and then think through why are they doing that. And as they mature, they will be more detail oriented about watching you go from left to right, turning it, left to right, turning it, left to right, turning it, especially as they get more adept at the pre-language and language work that you have out for them. So those are some of the skills that they work on. This material is very helpful for young children to work on their skills of independence, because when they have 2 or 3 of these on the shelf, similar material on the shelf to choose from, they get to decide which of those materials do they want. And so that's problem solving. How long do they want to work on it? Do they want to do it one time and put it away and choose something else? Do they want to do it for 10 minutes? But even some of the more subtle skills, where are they going to sit to do this work? Now, if you're doing this at home, you might think, I only have one place for them to sit. And that's okay. But in a Montessori environment in my classroom setting, there were lots of choices for them. And so they had to decide where to sit. It might be that all of the tables near where this work was on the shelf, maybe they're all full. And so they have to look around. They have to, in their head, think, where am I going to sit? They might think, oh, I want to sit over there with my friend so-and-so. Well, maybe before they can get there, someone else sits there. And so that is one of the many things I love about the Montessori philosophy, is that there are so many problem-solving skills that go into every decision that I make as the lead guide in the classroom, but also every decision that the child makes. And there are so many decisions that the child is privileged to make. It is not like a traditional setting where they're being told what to do and when to do it. Oh, we're all sitting down and we're all doing this coloring sheet. We're all sitting down and we're all doing this art project. And it's just a very different philosophy, because when you empower a child to make so many decisions for themselves, and it's freedom within limits, right? It's not you get to do whatever you want whenever you want, but it is an example of they can work on this for half an hour if they want. I'm not saying to them, practical lifetime is over. It's been 10 minutes. The bell's ringing, move to the next station, move to the next material. So they can choose all those things, but having that sense of freedom, that sense of their ability to choose, concentration, those skills of independence, those are all related to executive function, which we know are so important for jobs when you become an adult, that you need those executive function skills to be successful in many, many jobs. So this was Montessori Practical Life Pouring Work. I hope that you enjoyed the presentation and the explanation. I hope that if you are not already a subscriber, you go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell, because I do upload lessons several times a week. Some weeks I'm able to get a lesson out to you every day of the week. If you are willing to, I would love for you to comment on what your favorite pouring work is, what you use for your vessels, what trays you use or where you get your trays, and medium, what do you use to put inside. The pouring work, by the way, I didn't say it earlier, but I like dry pouring, which is what this is, meaning there's no sponge to it. But I will also have presentations where I show you how to do wet pouring, which means there's a liquid of some kind in here. And then it would also involve a small sponge on the tray. And the sponge is not to be used in the material, but it's just if they make a drip or something, you wipe that up. And so you can check that out in my playlist of Montessori Practical Life lessons. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope to see you tomorrow.